I refuse to not be first.
Do we do enough? Well, I never shut up about it.
It must have been about 16, 17. We nicked their guilt rings. Right, the bouncer's guilt ring.
This is no good for me. That's the reality. If you want the honest truth, and I see it every day.
This is Colm McGuigan for IFL TV, proudly sponsored by Everlast. Delighted to be joined by Conor Benn here in Guadalajara. Conor, how are you? How's things?
Yeah, good mate. Getting there. It's lovely out here in Mexico.
We've just watched you spar in the gym. At one point of the spar, I heard you come over to Tony Sims and you said something like, "I'm feeling it." It was something along those lines, "I'm feeling it." And you kind of put on a bit of a performance in there with two different
Probably
sparring
feeling
partners.
knackered. Probably feeling knackered. No, it was alright. I had someone in there who was heavier than the other, two different styles. But it was nice, yeah. I just go in there and I just move and groove.
In terms of the last 9 months for you since everything took off, and I know we can't get into it for legal reasons, so anyone listening, that's why we can't get into that discussion, and it's something that you do want to have at some point, but at the moment, because of legal reasons, we can't talk about it.
Yeah, of course. I mean, listen, I just want to resume with my career and, you know, get back to doing what I do best, which is knocking people out. And that's that, you know, just awaiting a date. I'm ready to get back out there and entertain the supporters.
In terms of the last 9 months for you mentally though, how tough has it been in this sport with all the noise outside and everything that you've had to deal with?
Alright, it's been hard. You know, it's been extremely hard. And, you know, sometimes I have to take a step back and look at the whole picture. And, you know, I sort of see from the public's view, I do get it fully. You know, and it's taken time because, you know, I was, you know, so, you know, angry, bitter and upset about the whole situation, but you know, everyone knows me and knows I wear my heart on my sleeve, and it's just the way I am. You know, I'm an emotional guy and I act on emotion. You know, so for me, it's like I struggle to accept it. But you know, I completely get it from the public's point of view. You know, so it's been hard, it's been challenging, but you know, all the greats have gone through adversity at some stage in their career. You know, so this ain't the end of me. You know, I never accepted it to be the end. You know, if anything, I've worked extremely hard during this period and excited to show everyone what I've been working on. You know, I want a world title this year. That goes without question.
In terms of your team and the people around you, your family, the people that matter most, how important have they been to you in this time of adversity that you faced?
I needed them. Tony called me almost every single day. And it's only until people go to you, nah, you didn't look like you were doing well at all, is where you go, like, well, maybe I didn't handle it well. You know, maybe I wasn't dealing with it well. You know, it was sort of like I was mourning my career. It was just such a bad period. You know, and you know, I regret the way I dealt with things. The public deserved an explanation straight away, but you know, it was something I couldn't give because I didn't know. You know, it was a massive shock to me and to the team. You know, it was sort of like, oh man, it was so bad. The period was so bad. I'm so glad that it's come to an end now. You know, and I can just, you know, keep moving with my career because, you know, at one stage it was looking like I weren't gonna get out of it. I weren't gonna mentally get out of this, and it's by far the hardest fight I've ever had to face in my life.
Do you think that this stands you in good stead going forward for those tougher fights in the future because you've faced such a tough fight these last 9 months?
Do you know what? I've never really been through adversity in my career, so for me it was like going straight in from a novice to a world title fight. That's what this felt like. It's like David and Goliath. You know, it was so bad. You know, it has made me strong. It's made the people closer to me, and also helped me realise a lot about life. You know, it's safe to say I was a little bit naive before all this. You know, in terms of people, in terms of the way people are, and you know, you just learn a lot. Life's a lesson, and you know, the greatest fight is life. You know, the greatest fight is life, man.
Whenever you first heard of this, describe the emotion that you felt, because you're an emotional guy.
Which part?
The very start, the very beginning.
Nothing of it. I didn't think anything of it at all.
You just thought this might have been a mistake, something went wrong.
Yeah. I literally like this, like, it is, okay, cool, like nothing.
And when it really hit home, then that was the bit that was tough for you?
Yeah, it was tough. Not just for me, for my family, you know, my family seeing me broken, you know, my hands and knees, you know, most nights. sobbing. Yeah, you know, I'm just happy that my dad was there, you know, because it was like, you know, I come home and I'm like, just going, Dad, what the fuck's happened, man? What has even happened? You know, and then it was, yeah, just literally sobbed on my dad's shoulder like a little kid, like a little baby. It's mad because I just so happy my dad was there for me, and my whole family and my whole team, and you know, and it's like, you know, they've encouraged me to just keep it going, keep it moving. You know, at one stage I was down and out, broken, and you know, it was. I'm still healing now. You know, it's traumatic.
You said something there that's poignant to me. You said that you understand the public and you understand what they think of the situation. For you going forward, and for the public's perception of the situation, are you just excited to get this all to the end so that people can understand the real story?
I don't know if that will ever come. You know, I left a massive gap from the start, maybe 3-4 months, where I didn't say anything and people had made up their minds already during that period with, you know, big, you know, other TV channels and the media all, you know, coming to a conclusion without even hearing anything. You know, so for me it was, you know, I struggled to accept and hearing it, sitting down every single day, hearing about it, see my face come up on the news, and it's like, oh man, like, so far from the truth. But it's like, it is what it is. You know, the media can push the narrative, or, you know, that's all it is. You know, it's all just noise, and people have made up their mind. So you saying that, have that ending where it's like, you know, that holy grail ending, I don't think that'll ever come. I think I've just got to resume my career and, you know, continue to knock people out and, you know, remind people why I'm one of the most dangerous fighters in a 147 division.
When you do come back, who do you want to face? Who are the names that you want?
Me and the team, you know, I've mentioned the name Keith Thurman. The only reason the fight didn't materialise with Keith Thurman was because obviously he was fighting Spence, but now the Spence fight's not gone ahead. I'm ready. I've been ready.
One that's been mentioned a lot in the UK, and something that you might want to visit at this time because you have had a time out of the ring, is Josh Kelly. Is that something that you'd like to do?
Zero chance. 0%. Like, I have no interest in that fight whatsoever. It was like, you don't go from mentioning the names that have been mentioned to them mentioning Josh Kelly, who's just not. Listen, maybe get a few wins under his belt, get the hype train back on him. You know, I think he's a good fighter. Do you know what I mean? But you know, when you're talking Pacquiao's or former world champions, or, you know, Thurman's as final eliminators, or Eubank Jr., you can't. It's just different. Do you know what I mean? I want, you know, either a final eliminator, you know, Keith Thurman, Ugases, Barrios, Ramirez, any of them names, top American names. Well, the world titles are all in America. You know, so for me, it's about, you know, getting that world title and being in mega fights.
We've seen mentioned a lot that you will fight abroad, and Eddie has said that he wants you to come back to the UK and fight. Is it your intention at some point to come back to the UK and fight, or right now is that not in your thought process?
Listen, UK is my home. It's my home. It's I know you get trolls on social media and it looks like a lot of hate on social media, but when you're getting 30,000 likes and 200 negative comments, do the ratio. You know, it's like the minority, and I've never had anyone say anything bad in person, or, you know, they're all just, well, what they are. You know, so Britain is still my home. I don't want to. I got a lot of love from the British supporters. I know there's loads of supporters backing me throughout all this. I know they're disappointed in the way it happened. I apologise to the public for the way I've responded. You know, I've been bitter and angry and upset, and I've dealt with it the best. But I'm emotional, and you know, there's been highs, there's been lows. But, you know, there's been a lot of people, you know, ride or die with me, and then, you know, it puts a smile to my face because I really want to do this for them. And, you know, I hope I can. Listen, if my next fight could be in the UK, I'd love that. I would.
When do you think that we could see you back in the ring?
As soon as the fights are made. That's what we're waiting on. You know, as soon as the team materialise the fights. I've been ready and I've been staying ready. Obviously you heard June the 3rd, then June the 17th, and now it's like, well, let's just make the right fights happen. I don't need to come back for no warm up, which is where you mentioned Josh Kelly. I don't need a warm up. Throw me straight in. Whenever I ever demonstrated ring rust, when I broke my hand or broke my jaw, never. Because when I need to apply myself, I apply myself, and I work extremely hard. Even now I'm an improved fighter. I think I'm only 26. Do you know what I mean? Going through all this now, so young. It's been hard, man, but it's like, it just prepares you, doesn't it? Prepares you for what's to come.
26. Do you think that this, in a way, is a blessing? Now you've got all these big names wanting, all these big fights, that there is the potential of a fairy tale ending as such for Conor, Benn?
The fairy tale ending is me winning that world title. Yeah, money comes and goes, man. Money does come and go. Legacy lives on. So for me, it's like I just want to reach my full potential. You got to remember, people, when I first started, I said I want to make it by Southern area. Now you got Pacquiao's team calling me out. Just plain and simple. That on its own, I've not said that before. It sounds pretty good. People didn't think I'd make it out at Southern area level, and now you got Pacquiao's manager calling me and promoter calling me out, trying to get the fight done, thinking I'd got to beat Eubank at 160. So it's like I'm doing all right. I'm doing okay. This is a small little blip. I can't say small, but this has been, a part of the journey. It's all about the journey. And for me, I didn't think anything like this would ever happen. I didn't think I'd ever go for anything like this, or I didn't think I'd ever been put down by a journeyman. I didn't think that was the worst part of my life. And then you've got to overcome that. Then you've got to overcome adversity. Greatness is within, and nothing gets in the way of that. Nothing can get in the way of what you're destined for, and I'm destined for this.
I know we're pushed for time, and I did say we would only be 10 minutes, but I'll finish on this. We're here for John Ryder. Massive stage, massive fight, the biggest fight of his life. Can he do it on Saturday night?
He can. I mean, there's going to be sticky moments. You got to think he's going in there with a pound for pound best in his home city in Guadalajara, so it's like, it is going to be, I keep saying it's like, I don't know where that's come from, but it's going to be incredible when he does get a win. I believe John's a disciplined fighter, and he'll go in there and stick to the tactics and do what he needs to do. John's worked hard for so many years. It's not just one camp for this fight. It's years and years of hard work, of being disciplined, of being a professional. He inspires me in the gym. John's one of them fighters where it's like, he motivates me. Even during this period, I've learned a lot from John and the way he's been in his previous camps where things haven't gone his way, where he hasn't got a fight date, or the Canelo fight first fell through. He still keeps it moving. He still stays in the gym. He still gets up and does the sprints and does the training. So it's like, yeah, it inspires me and motivates me. And that's why I think John will get a win. I think stay disciplined, stick to the tactics, and do what he needs to do. He needs to look at Canelo's last 3 fights, to look at John's last 3 fights. And I think it's going to be a hard fight, but I just know John will do what he's got to do to get a win.
Well, Conor, thank you so much for your time. We're going to get another interview in this weekend, hopefully, and we'll have another chat. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, cool.
Thanks, man.
Thank you.
Because I refuse to not be first.
Do we do enough? Well, I never shut up about it.
It must have been about 16, 17. We nicked their guilt rings. Right, the bouncer's guilt rings.
This is no good for me. That's the reality. If you want the honest truth, and I see it every day,